It was a late night in October. Rain drizzling down, the air cold and crisp. The leaves bore the color of the sun and crimson red. Around 11 p.m. there was a knock on his door. When the man opened it, he was met by a child, no older than 12. Sneakers, jeans, a grey hoodie beneath a black jacket. The hood was up. The boy looked down. The man looked curiously at him and said, "Hey kid, can I help you?" The boy answered,
"Good evening, sir. May I come in? I would like to borrow your telephone, please."
"It's very late. Where are your parents?"
"I must telephone them, so that they can come and pick me up. May I come in, please?"
The man opened the door to let the boy in.
"Thank you, sir."
The boy still looked down as he walked into the house. When the boy had passed the man, he raised his head slightly. "What's your name, son?" "My name is—"
"Homer."
The boy cut him off while looking around the room. Homer looked at the boy. A mix of disbelief and curiosity spread across his face, one eyebrow slightly raised. "That's right. How did you know?"
"Your name is on the mailbox."
"Oh, yes, of course. Please, have a seat in the living room." The boy turned his head slightly to the right.
"Thank you, sir,"
he said, walking slowly towards the room, his hands in his jacket pockets. Homer looked the boy up and down, a slight smile tugging at the corner of his mouth as his tongue caressed his lips. He drifted toward the kitchen. Clearing his throat, he asked, "Would you like something to drink? Water? Maybe a cup of tea or hot chocolate?" The boy, now in the living room, replied,
"I can't say no to hot chocolate, sir. Thank you."
Homer, now getting comfortable again, raised his voice slightly so it would be audible across the floor. "It's quite cold outside, so hot chocolate is a good choice." He took out a ceramic mug with the text "Number 1 Dad" on it for the hot chocolate and a tumbler glass to pour himself a shot of whiskey. Homer looked over his shoulder just to check that the boy didn't see what he was about to do. He opened the drawer where he stored different drugs, took out a couple of pills of melatonin, and as he ground them up to put into the hot chocolate, he asked, "So, where do you live?"
"I live some way away from here, sir. I'm not sure you've heard of it."
The boy was walking along the wall on the far side of the living room when Homer walked in to join him with the freshly poured drinks. He stopped in the doorway, looking curiously at the boy as he held the glass in one hand and the mug in the other. "I've got our drinks ready," he said delightfully, with a smile across his face. The boy was silent for a little while, and then he spoke.
"I see many pictures of your children, sir, but none of your wife."
Homer was caught a bit off guard, but kept his calm. "Well, there was a misunderstanding between her and me regarding our children." The boy didn't reply. "I'm sorry. I didn't catch your name. Please, come sit on the couch." The boy looked back down, slowly walked to the couch, and sat down, his hands still in his pockets. Homer reached out to give the boy the hot chocolate. The boy took his hands out of his pockets and accepted the mug. Homer sat down in the chair across from him, still not being able to see the boy's face. The boy took a big sip.
"Thank you, sir. It tastes good. I bet your children love your hot chocolate too."
Homer, a bit surprised at the boy drinking the almost boiling hot chocolate without slurping or blowing on it to cool it down, said, "Yes, they do love my hot chocolate, although they haven't had it for a while. They live with their mother." His voice had a hint of disgust in it as he mentioned her, even if not by name. "My children gave me the mug you're holding," he continued, the warm tone back in his voice. There was a pause. In the background, you could hear the muffled ticking of the grandfather clock in the corner. The boy quietly sat on the couch, looking at the mug in his hands.
Justice.
Excuse me?
My name is Justice.
Oh, that's a nice name.
It was given to me by my parents.
Oh, right, your parents. You wanted to use the phone. I'll go get it. He stood up and started walking to the kitchen, but stopped when Justice asked,
May I use your restroom, sir? I need to relieve myself.
Homer looked at him, noticing that Justice was still looking down on the mug in his hands. Of course. It's down the hall, second door on the right. Justice raised his head almost enough for the light to illuminate his chin.
Thank you, sir.
He stood up, put his hands back into his pockets, and slowly walked down the hall. Homer's gaze followed him. He was starting to feel a bit uncomfortable, but shrugged it off. It's just a boy, he thought to himself, and soon he'll be very sleepy. He could barely contain his excitement, but forced himself to calm down. Breathe, he told himself. Breathe. He grabbed the phone from the charging station, walked back into the living room, and sat down to wait for Justice. The rain had stopped. Homer heard the flush, then the water from the faucet. As the water stopped and the door unlocked, Justice walked out of the bathroom and stood in the hall, facing the living room. You, all right there, kid? Homer asked, noticing that Justice had his hands in his pockets again. There was another pause, and Homer felt like Justice smiled, but he couldn't tell for sure since the light in the hall was turned off. The only light came from behind Justice, outlining his silhouette, since the light from the living room didn't quite reach him.
Yes, sir.
Justice walked back into the room. He sat down on the couch and grabbed the now half-empty mug of hot chocolate.
If I may ask, sir, why are you children not here with you? Do they not love you?
Homer emptied the last of his whiskey, stood up and walked over to the kitchen again. He poured himself a larger shot and walked back to sit down. He took another sip. He held the glass in his right hand and tapped nervously on his knee with his left. Well, as I mentioned, there was a misunderstanding and she couldn't cope. I told her that we need to teach them about nature, about instincts, about urges. She didn't agree, but worse, she didn't understand. He swirled the whiskey around in his glass, while looking at the motion it made. Justice stayed quiet, the grandfather clock still ticking in the background. The air was thick with silence. Each tick of the clock was like the beating of a drum. So, I brought the phone for you so you can call your parents. He extended his arm, offering the phone to Justice.
Thank you, sir,
he replied as he accepted the phone. Homer now noticed that Justice's hands seemed pale, almost white. Are you cold?
A little bit, but I'll be all right.
He held the phone in his hand.
I'm from the Nordics. We don't get much sun.
Homer pondered for a moment, then asked, Didn't you say you lived just a few towns over?
No, sir. I said I live some way away.
Oh, right. Homer trailed off. He took another sip of whiskey. Are you gonna call your parents? Justice held the phone in his right hand while holding the mug in his left hand.
Your daughter. She used to draw pictures of a happy family. So did your son.
Homer's breath caught in his throat.
Their drawings are still in the kitchen, underneath the melatonin you keep there. The same melatonin you gave me. You've waited for someone to knock on your door for years. Someone young, someone you can use, someone you can abuse.
Justice didn't scream. He didn't cry, he simply stated facts like it was a weather report. Homer stared at him, mouth open, feelings of dread and shock filling him. Who are you? He could almost sense the grin spreading across Justice's face. A sigh escaped the boy.
I'm one of those who knows.
He slowly raised his head, revealing his face. Homer shuddered with fear when he finally saw it. Pale skin, almost white as snow. 2 big eyes, blacker than voids. A grin of razor-sharp teeth spread across Justice's face.
We know you're kind, sir. We find people like you, sir. We do not forgive what you've done, sir.
The room turned icy cold. Justice stood up and drew the hood back. The power went out. The house turned dark. Had someone walked by outside, they'd hear blood-curdling screams, then silence. Justice left the house, leaving the door ajar. He stepped out onto the street. He looked up at the moon, smiled, and wiped the blood from his mouth. He raised his hood, shadowing his face once more. The rain returned as Justice again walked down the street.
I didn't even want to start talking. Thanks for giving me such a big part of this story, Thomas. Justice was a chilling character. I'm not even gonna nag you about your computer today. Halloween is over for this year. Thank you all for watching.